My name is Mike Ford, and I have a 2012 Audi R8 V10. It's got a lot of modifications to it. It wasn't like that when I purchased it. Did airlift suspension, straight pipes. The airlift suspension took a buddy and I about 2 weeks of tearing the car apart in the garage and putting it all together. Did carbon fiber on the steering wheel, carbon fiber canards. Took the bumper off, had it in my dining room, did the modifications there. Most of the modifications have been done in my kitchen. Did a carbon fiber airbox cover, custom stereo. So much to even think about with what I've done to the car. I bought the Audi R8. I've got a 2008 Porsche Cayman S, and it's getting up there in mileage. It has 150,000 miles on it. And I've got a 2-post rotary lift that's 20 years old in my garage. And I do all the work on that myself. And as the Porsche was getting up there in age, I thought I'd like to get something that was really reliable and fun. And I just happened to be in a financial situation where I could afford the car. And I did a lot of research on how difficult it was to work on, and if something did go wrong that was major, could I afford it? And I felt like I was in a position where everything checked the boxes, so I went forward with it. Haven't regretted it. My first car, I had a 1981 Ford Mustang, and it wasn't a cool like 5.0 like Vanilla Ice had. It was an inline 4 hatchback, red. It did not run. I had signed up for auto mechanics, which ironically I failed. And it wasn't because I didn't know what I was doing. It's because I wanted to work on my own car and my own project. The teacher didn't like it. That project ended terribly because I broke a tap off in the engine block. So the fate of that car was I donated it to a mental hospital for a $300 tax write-off. And I went out and made another great financial decision and bought a 1979 MG. It wasn't MG Midget, it was just the MGB, rust colored. I got it a half a mile away from the guy's house, and the car broke down on me. I towed it to a shop in Arlington on Glebe Road called Motorhead. And I said, I need a list of everything that's wrong with the car. And they came back a week later with the 3-page list to include no compression in cylinder 3, the clutch was going out. Oh, by the way, it's got electronic overdrive. So in order to change the clutch, you've got to remove the motor and the transmission. So had it towed to my parents' house. And for 6 months, that's what I did. Was I worked at a pizza place, came home at night, snuck beer out of my dad's refrigerator, drank beer, and worked on the car all night long. I found out about Voodoo's Garage. I went to a car show for the Marine Corps for Toys for Tots, and I saw the Voodoo Garage tent and went over and started speaking with the guys, and they kind of told me a brief synopsis of what the car club was about. And I didn't really meet anybody. Chris actually sent me a friend request on Facebook, so I joined. I had him added to my list, and I really reached out to Chris. His dog had passed away, and I know that pain from being a dog owner myself, so I reached out to him to offer my sympathy to him, and we just kind of started talking from there. I fell in love with cars probably at the age of 9. I went to NTB, National Tire and Battery, with my father. He was getting tires put on the family car. And a guy pulled into the garage with an old air-cooled Porsche 911. And I looked at my dad and I said, "What is that?" It was red in color. And he said, "Oh, that's a Porsche. Let's go talk to the guy." So we went out to the garage and talked to him. And I said, I love your car. I've never seen one like this. And he said, do you want to sit in it? And I looked at my dad and he said, don't look at me. Look at him. And I said, yeah, I'd love to sit in it. And I sat down in that car and I told myself, one day I will have one of these. And that was it. I had the Lamborghini poster on the wall, just like every other kid growing up in the 80s. And I told my dad, I said, I'd love to have one of those. He said, you better work really hard. And that's been my life goal ever since he told me that. Honestly, I feel the future plans for the R8, I'm just at a point where in my mind the car is perfect. I want to just maintain and maybe do things that I've done to it better, improve things, because I've done 90% of the work myself or with the help of one or two people. Now I just want to go back and things that maybe I did that I felt were rushed, redo them, touch things up. It's not a garage queen. I do take it out and drive it, and it's got some battle scars. The front bumper, it's got a deep gouge in there, paint missing. I'll get that touched up, but it's not going to have a new bumper put on it and resprayed, and it's just a maintenance point at this time. The events I'm looking forward to this year, I'm looking forward to car shows. I've never done any kind of road rally or drive with a group of other similar vehicles, so I'm really looking forward to that. I really enjoy events where I get to meet new people and enjoy the camaraderie of something that we all have in common, which is the love of cars and helping people. My favorite thing about Voodoo's Garage is the people and the overall organization. We do car shows, we do events that are fun. It benefits everybody. It's an expensive but a healthy hobby.
All right, if you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like down below. Go ahead and subscribe to us if you haven't yet. If you want to check out our events or any of our merch, anything like that, go ahead. We'll either link it down below or you can search on vdgmedia.com. What do we think about that, Mike?
That's hilarious.